Hello everyone, my name is Neil and welcome to Scientifically Speaking, a show where a variety of science topics will be discussed. You can find topics ranging from biology to psychology and even more. All that I ask for you to do is to come into the episodes with an open mind. With all that being said, let's get right into it. Psychology is really such an interesting subject. Most people I talk to seem to think that psychology is just about abnormal behavior, but that's not all of it. However, in this episode, we will be discussing a topic that's actually related to abnormal behavior, something that many consider the cancer of psychology. This is schizophrenia, of course. If you watched movies like A Beautiful Mind, Donnie Darko, or Shutter Island, you probably have some exposure to the disorder. Schizophrenia is a chronic and severe mental disorder that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. People with schizophrenia may seem like they have lost touch with reality. Although schizophrenia is not a common mental disorder compared to the rest, the symptoms can be very disabling. Symptoms range so highly, which makes the disorder so severe. First, we have positive symptoms. Positive symptoms are psychotic behaviors not generally seen in healthy people. People with positive symptoms may lose touch with some aspects of reality. Symptoms include hallucinations, delusions, thought disorders, and even movement disorders. Then we have negative symptoms. Negative symptoms are associated with disruptions to normal emotions and behaviors. Symptoms include flat affect, also known as reduced expression of emotions like facial expressions or voice tone. Also, they experience reduced feelings of pleasure in everyday life, difficulty beginning and sustaining activities, even reduced speaking. Lastly, we have cognitive symptoms. For some patients, the cognitive symptoms of schizophrenia are subtle, but for others, they are more severe, and patients may notice changes in their memory or other aspects of thinking. Symptoms include poor ability to understand information and use it to making decisions, also known as executive function, trouble focusing or paying attention, and problems with working memory. Working memory is the ability to use information immediately after learning it. Now that you know what this is, what exactly causes it? There are two main factors that contribute to the risk of developing schizophrenia. We don't necessarily know what the cause is, but we have probable causes. Genes and environment are one of them. Scientists have long known that schizophrenia sometimes runs in families. However, there are many people who have schizophrenia who don't even have a family member with the disorder, and conversely, many people with one or more family members with the disorder, they do not develop it themselves. Scientists believe that many different genes may increase the risk of schizophrenia, but that no single gene causes the disorder by itself. It is not yet possible to use genetic information to predict who will develop schizophrenia. However, when you look at identical twin studies, if one twin has it, the other twin has a 50% chance of inheriting it. Scientists also think that interactions between genes and aspects of the individual's environment are necessary for schizophrenia to develop. Some examples of these environmental factors may involve exposure to viruses, malnutrition before birth, problems during birth, and even psychosocial factors. Another thing is different brain chemistry and structure even. Scientists think that an imbalance in the complex interrelated chemical reactions of the brain involving neurotransmitters, which are substances that brain cells use to communicate with each other, dopamine and glutamate, and possibly others, play a role in schizophrenia. Some experts also think problems during brain development before birth may lead to faulty connections. The brain also undergoes major changes during puberty, and these changes could trigger psychotic symptoms in people who are vulnerable due to genetics or brain differences. How do we stop something like this? Do we go to the genetic route? There is a link with schizophrenia in the C4 gene, which is responsible for synaptic pruning, very common, especially during puberty, overactive in schizophrenics. They have less synapses. How about antipsychotics? Antipsychotic medications are usually taken daily in pill or liquid form. Some of them are given by injections that are given once or twice a month. Maybe psychosocial medications. These treatments are helpful after patients and their doctors find a medication that works. Learning and using coping skills to address the everyday challenges of schizophrenia helps people to pursue their life goals, such as attending school or work. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Scientifically Speaking. I'm Neil. I'll see you in the next episode.